Hello and welcome to the show. We are back on Forza Horizon 4 today with a challenge. We were going to be having a go at Lucky Dip Racing. Now, we have done this back in previous motorsport games, but it will have to work slightly differently on Horizon. You see, back in the motorsport games, we would set the grid to reverse of the PI because, well, we're picking cars Lucky Dip within a certain class. We'd set it to reverse a PI, give a 1 second roll-off delay, so the people that were given the faster cars had to work their way through the pack. That's a very interesting, very fun races. However, we can't do that on Horizon because, well, there's no grids to set, we can't set reverse PI, and we can't do roll-off delay. So instead, we were going to work this a little bit differently. People would be drawn cars at random using the Kudos Prime websites to randomly select vehicles within a certain class, and then the vehicles would be auto-upgraded to the top of their respective class. So, for our first race, we were going to be using C-Class. I was drawn, I don't know whether to say luckily enough to be, I was drawn an XB Falcon. That would then be auto-upgraded to the top of C-Class. So, not only is our car selection random, we're also hoping that the game plays nice when it comes to upgrading. Which, for my Falcon, wasn't too bad, although I didn't get any better tyre compounds. I think we still had standard tyres. They were at least a bit wider. We got a little bit more power. There were some cars that did not get as lucky as me. So, for our first round of the Lucky Dip Racing, the Forza gods have been actually pretty kind to most of us. Everybody is in vaguely sensible cars, from CRXs to Renault Clios. I am in an XB Falcon. There are plenty of other muscle cars around. There's a Nova, there's a Pontiac GTO, a Monaro, and so on. So it's an interesting mix of vehicles. Of course, auto-upgrading has done some interesting things to some people's cars. Some have just got power. By the looks of it, from what they were saying, Ewan's GTO over there has got nearly 500 horsepower in it, and that's about it. I was trying to, I didn't quite mean that bigger a nudge. Ewan's GTO is not very controllable by the looks of it. I think does not look like that's having a good start. Yeah, the auto-upgrading, we don't really know what it's going to do to the cars. What we are expecting it to do to the cars is not really make them very good. We're expecting them to be quite badly built. I certainly know mine's still on standard tyres with 360 horsepower. It has got tyre widths, and that's about it. There goes the CRX. That will outgrip all of us. The Clio actually couldn't even be auto-upgraded because it's basically the top of C-Class to begin with. So the Clio's a very quick car in all of this. There's a big old squabble going on at the front with a lot of cars. Oh, Clio is going to always fire back past. We know how good those Clios are. They're incredible. Certainly the Forza Edition's insane. Yeah, we know they're very good handling cars. I'm very sorry, but I mean, you don't want to go around the outside of a muscle car that's really struggling. You can see all the muscle cars that were seriously struggling for turning. And now we come to the start-finish straight. What's going to stand a chance here? What's going to happen here? Corvette is coming to join it. We will monster back past the bright green Civic. The CRX actually got itself to the front. CRX is always one to be worried about. We know how good. I love my Mugen that I have for C-Class. I know how good that car is. And while that's a more normal one, and of course game upgraded, it's still going to be pretty damn good. My XB Falcon is having a tough time here. It's safe to say it is having a tough time. I've really just got to try and be close when we get to that back straight. Behind us, the Escort Cosworth. I'm kind of surprised actually. I was expecting that to be doing better with all of its. Well, it's going to be better grip, much better grip. I'm just currently trading places with the Civic every acceleration zone. We go back past every corner, it goes back past. A little bit of paint swapping. It's fine. Very slidey banana up ahead. That's the Nova having issues with the wall. The Lancia 37 is leading the way now. There's got Clio and CRX for company. Mazda RX-7 up with that group. Basically, if you got dealt a big muscle car, you were probably going to have a tough time in this one, really. And here comes the Falcon through the gap. Thank you very much. The GTO and Monaro are not having fun. It looks like there's a great battle at the front that I am just not quite able to be a part of. In many ways, I'd say the Corvette up ahead is probably a slight bit better choice. No. Bloody handling cars. I probably wanted a third gear. through all of that. I wasn't quite sure. I don't know what the gearing is in these cars. Don't even know how many gears I've got. I think I've got 4. I might have 5. Might have put in... Some people were given the joys of a sport gearbox or something. I'm not sure if I was or not. I forgot to check. So, it is what it is. Got a couple more laps. Now, the Civic might actually be out of range, annoyingly. I've lost too much time. This is really just try not to slip too far back down the field as the Escort Cosworth has a go at the inside. I mean, I can't really defend from these cars because they've just got no grip in mine. We're not the worst car here. I think the Nova is the best of the muscle cars. I mean, the Corvette, well, it's kind of more of a sports car. The classic American vehicles, Corvette's probably the fastest if it can stay out of trouble, if it can stay out of traffic. But it's very busy going on at the front. It's still the CRX fighting with the Clio, fighting with an RX-7. It's a mad fight going on. I'm kind of slightly disappointed that I am not able to be a part of all that. And that's, you've got to bear in mind here, I'm now running in basically clean air. I might have to worry about the Escort by the time we get to the end of the lap. For the first part of the lap, at least, I am literally running in completely clean air. So I'm not having to attack, not having to defend. Them guys are busy fighting up ahead. They're busy fighting for position, and they are pulling away from me. That is the... Oh, that's not what I wanted. The Escort Cosworth's going to have a crack. Although the Escort then does have to go a long way around here. Won't matter. It's got so much more grip than I. Whoa! We're just playing a little bit risky on the dirt. Again, the plus point for me, of course, is that, well, we're going to just monster the forward down the straight. The Escort Cosworth struggling for top-end speed. Struggling immensely here for top-end speed. Or in comparison, anyway. It's the battle to be the best of the Fords? I don't think there are any Fords ahead of us. So, you know what? If we can be the best of the Fords, that's something, at least. And we'll beat the Holden as well. That's the important thing. We've got the right era Holden. I think the right era Holden. Racing in this one, the right Monaro. So, we represent Fords, and we beat Holden. That's what matters, and we might be able to be the best of the Fords, although I'm going to really have to park it. No, 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 no. Go away, go away. No, I will not let the Escort Cosworth past. We will fight with everything we have, which is not much in terms of grip. Christ, it can literally just go around the outside of us. Admittedly, it found a house. I've found a house as well. They're quite pretty houses, but I wouldn't want to live there when there's random cars racing constantly. Well, I mean, I'd like to watch the racing. There's just a chance that a random car might crash through your front door, and that's a little bit inconvenient, to say the least. Come on! Come on! Come on, Falcon! You're not going to be the best of the Fords, are you? It's not a long enough straight for me, although it's going to be quite close. Oh, no! No! We lost it. Ah, the final lap as well. I tried. I really did try my very, very best to defend on that lot, and it just was not enough. It wasn't enough. The Nova would be best of the muscle cars up in 4th. It would be CRX from the Civic from the RX-7. That did not give me much time to look through the ending screen, but there we have it. My lucky dip, the C-Class, not a great vehicle. So, as we headed on to our next race, we would go up towards B-Class, and the vehicle I'd been given was a BMW M5. Actually, not a terrible choice of car. It wasn't terribly upgraded either. We had slightly better tyre compounds, we had bigger tyre widths, we had slightly upgraded brakes. I mean, not how I'd have built the car. However, certainly as far as options go, it was not too bad of a one. Well, it's safe to say I'm actually quite happy with the Lucky Dip B-Class car that I have. Got a BMW M5, starts off fairly low in B-Class. Game was fairly sensible with upgrading it. There is, quite entertainingly, up in 6th, you will notice a BMW M3 that for whatever reason, when also upgraded, decided to go on the drift suspension. That's not likely to do very well. There is a smattering of other interesting cars, plenty of 90s kind of larger sports vehicles. The F-Pace is off the line pretty fast. There's a couple of quite classic cars, a couple of James Bond edition actually, DB5 and DBS. M3's going to have a horrible time at this circuit. This is not a track you want your car to have accidentally been put on drift suspension for. I don't know what the F-Pace is surprisingly good. I have to say, the F-Pace is surprisingly good in B-Class. Oh, I've got quite a lot of grip going on in my M5. I like that. I like the amount of grip I have got going on with this. That's hopefully going to put us in good stead to maybe make our way up the order. I feel like we're in a better shape with this car than we were with the Falcon, at least. The F-Pace is... yeah, it's probably going to struggle with the longer corners that we get going on around here. Bloody hell, the DBS is fast. I mean, this is quite a fast circuit. It's not all speed, though, around here. You've got these very long corners to worry about. I'm stuck behind... I don't really want to be stuck behind the muscle car, the muscle car and the very, very fast Aston Martin. I want to try and get clear. Leading the way is a Skyline from a Megane, the only front-wheel drive vehicle in the field. RS4, sorry. That starts off, I think it's another very, very high starting PI car. Oh, I'm going to get squished here. I was quite late on the brakes, and the Falcon was trying to outbrake me, and that didn't work. Probably not the best idea in the muscle car to try and outbrake the BMW. It's not likely. Where you're going to win is on acceleration and top end. Oh, I'm going to get stuck. I don't want to get stuck in traffic. I want a good car, goddammit. Let me show the M5 as a good car. Please. Please don't get me stuck in traffic. Oh, that's a troublesome Falcon. That's gone. Okay, we are we are through there. The F-Pace might come into its own a little bit. How fast is that going to be down the straights? I'm slightly concerned. Something green was very sideways in the background. Oh, that was the Ferrari. There was a classic Daytona. Well, was in this one that is a bit of a wallowy thing to start with. Either way, we've lost a little bit of ground. I think chances of catching lead is going to be very, very difficult. Oh, big dive from the Subaru on the GTO. Looks like it might just pull that one off. The GTO's trying to cut back. Megane's got a lot of corner speed, but he's struggling to really find a place to use it. I suspect the Megane is going to be out-dragged by everything. 7.5's not badly upgraded, to be honest. I say it's badly upgraded, but it's not the worst thing in the world to drive. We're all forgetting that we're not on race tyres. I'm a complete muppet. Stop driving it like it's got race tyres and immense grip like most things that I would drive on this game. The F-Pace is going for, well, I mean, it's an off-road car, so I guess it might as well go for or it can go for the off-road lines. How much grip does that have? Don't put me in I'm bored of being stuck on the outside of cars that can't turn. Admittedly, I should not be back here because I did a stupid thing in turn 1, and we're going to get stuck on the outside. We're just going to get passed again when we get to the straight. I mean, the good news is, I said the good news, we might get the Megane eventually. At some point, we might get the Megane. I'm faster than... Yeah, this has been one of those slightly infuriating races where you have a good car, but a couple of mistakes from me and just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Oh, come on now. I'm just driving badly. I think I'm driving not... I'm trying to overdrive my car. No, don't even... Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, we're just going to get stuck in horrendous traffic now. Not what I wanted. Really not what I wanted with the car. Well, that's annoying. I mean, at least we have got some races going on. I guess that's something. If we get squished into another wall by a car that's got completely no grip. I mean, it is kind of weird. These do drive so drastically different to the sort of cars. I mean, I race B-Class a lot. But this is so differently built. To be fair, I'd probably never build this for B-Class. It has got some PI to work with. It's not the worst to be working with. The M5, I probably wouldn't go for it in B-Class. And I certainly wouldn't have built it in the manner at which the game has. And it is just not turning. B-Class, I have a CRX that has 150 horsepower, but has just a million miles of grip. Are we going to now be able to not balls up this corner? That's more like it. There we go. Well, almost there we go. Little wide on, little brush on the wall. That's fine. We're going to catch up to the Subaru and Megane fight, I suspect, in no time. Looks like the RS4 is desperately trying to cling on to a third place. Skyline's running away at the front. Skyline is doing well up at the front. Is fending off the DB5. Okay, actually, not been too bad a race in terms of closeness of the field. The drifting M3 is down the bottom, as expected. I don't know how far off the bottom. I can't look back for long enough to have a look at the map, really. We've got to try and chase down them again. I don't think we'd have time. I think we might have the pace to chase down the GTO and the Audi. I think we would probably have the speed to go chasing them. However, we're going to run out of laps because this is the final lap. This is it. Can I find a way past them again? The F-Pace has done very, very well to get up into F-Pace. by not making mistakes, stayed out of trouble. I've just seen how far down that M3 is. It's not finishing. I can tell you that much. It's probably going to be the only dump from this race. Are we going to be able to find a way past that McGann in these next couple of corners? The F-Pace smoking the tyres. I mean, it's going to... I can't get underneath. The McGann has just got so much grip. I mean, it is much more modern than the cars it is racing here. The McGann's past the Subaru. I needed another lap. I caught them. I caught the group. We needed another lap. Looks like the GTO will get a second. I think at the front, the Aston Martin snuck it on the final lap. It was by a tiny fraction of a second. Indeed it was. DB5 takes victory from the Skyline. GTO up in third, fourth to the Audi. The F-Pace getting fifth ahead of the McGann, the Subaru, my M5, the classic DBS, Falcon, Ferrari, and the drifty, useless M3. Why the game would do that, I have no idea. It's quite funny. Quite glad it did. Quite glad it didn't do it to me. So, for our third and final race, we would go up to A-Class, and the game would see fit to keep me with BMW and give me a car that I'd never used. I was going to have the i8 Roadster. Know very little about this one. It does start off with all-wheel drive, which is something, although we're going to be on tarmac circuits anyway, and upgrade-wise, we're fairly sensible, slightly better compound house, very, very wide rear tyres. I think it's just 305s it put it on, which is quite nice. Otherwise, yeah, didn't know much about it. So, for our final Lucky Dip race, apparently the game wanted to keep me with the BMWs. Well, I've got an i8 convertible that I don't know if it's any good at all. I've never driven it before. However, I'm not the least lucky here. No, there is a Warthog, there is an Iron Knight in this group as well. So, that's going to be fun. And I'm starting at the very back, and I'm going to have to overtake those vehicles. I'm alongside Maserati Birdcage. I'm hoping I might be able to get the Iron Knight off the line. Possibly with the all-wheel drive traction, although the Iron Knight's got the power, of course, 2,500 horsepower in that, compared to my 360-something. That Maserati's very fast. The Birdcage is something we're concerned about being very quick. The Civic starting on pole, we'd be worried about. There's an NSX as well in here that, you know, the NSX is going to have a lot of grip. There's a Warthog. Can I get past the Warthog, please, before... Oh, it all gets into the... Okay, we're past the war. We've got past the big, unlucky heavyweight cars. We are now... Oh, that's not a nice camera, so I'm guessing that's because I got a Warthog right on the backside. Thankfully, everyone else has cleared away the barriers, so I don't lose any time going over there. And we are through. The Maserati, oh, is going to give us a helping hand through all of that. I'm going to have a sneak up the inside. Of course, the downside of the NSX and the way the game's likely to have built it is, well... You don't know whether it's going to have got enough power for straight line speed stuff, really. I'm mighty concerned about similar things with my i8. The Warthog's actually doing well, might be doing relatively well, depending if it missed that checkpoint or not. I think it got away with it. That Warthog's doing surprisingly. It's not got any top speed, of course. It's got surprising amounts of grip through those corners. Not lampposts. The mortal enemy of me is those lampposts. The Audi... I actually expected it to be a monster in a straight line. Apparently, the i8 is a little bit faster. We've not really done massively well in any of these races so far. We have got a wall, followed an Audi. We have got currently the Civic leading, a BMW M2 in second. The fight for third is an M3, a 959, Rally Raid, Maserati, and Audi. So we're going to join in this fight quite quickly. I would expect, to be honest, even if I get through this group, I would expect the Birdcage to annihilate us in the later stages of this race. There's a lot of understeery heavy cars through there. Come on, out accelerate the Gran Turismo. Take that position away. Thank you very much for that one. Yes, whether we can chase down that M3. Oh, the 959 clipped the wall. Got away with it. Oh, the M2 missed the checkpoint. There's a... Apparently the game is like BMWs today. I guess there's enough of them in the respective classes to be dished out. Just don't make any silly mistakes around here. The 959 will not have a problem with going off-road. I think Birdcage, I would imagine, is quite the handful. I would imagine that is not having a particularly good time. Christ, I've just seen the gap at the front that Civic has over the rest of us. That's ridiculous. In just a couple of laps, the Civic has absolutely buggered off up the road. I downshifted one too many times by accident through all of there. Now, clean air. Clean air. Can we chase down a podium spot from an M3 or an RS6? I mean, personally, I wouldn't have wanted an RS6. They're too big and too heavy. Really, they struggle with the old braking. Although around this circuit, it's not the worst place, I guess, to have an RS6. And, of course, if you do wander a little bit wide, all-wheel drive can help. And this isn't a massive necessity for all-wheel drive, if you like, around this particular circuit. It is a lot faster than most that you will go. It's a lot faster, however, if you have a pure straight-line speed car, you get annihilated. Because while the track is fast, yes, there are a couple of places where you can get up to a lot of speed, you do need an awful lot of grip around this. Well, you need a lot of grip for these sort of 120 mile an hour plus corners. I'm not close enough. I want to get in the fight. I want to be part of that fight. For second, we have got no chance against the Civic. Apparently the Civic has been put on race tyres. So, while I'm on the street tyres, admittedly quite wide street tyres, the 305s at the back on this, I've not got a hope in hell against a race-tired Civic. Not really. Not around here. Oh, come on, BMW. It's actually not terrible to drive. It is not terrible. Again, would never use this as an A-class car, as they're still side-by-side up ahead. And if I can't catch them while they're doing that, I don't think I ever will. Now I have caught maybe a little bit. Pretty evenly matched between the pair of them. This time it's the M3 that goes for the jaunt across the grass. Here we go. We are catching. Probably not if I do that, though. Oh, I got away without losing as much time as I could have done. I didn't kind of run. If you do end up out wide there, you got to punch through the fence, get to the grass, and then punch through on the exit. Don't try and sit on the fence, because the fence will just kill all of your speed. So, it's not the best line. Absolutely, you don't want to go over there. But if you are starting to slide out that way, then that's what you got to do. So the birdcage has got free of traffic. I think the M2's actually catching back up. Won't have time. We'll run out of laps to do anything about us. But the M2 has recovered very, very well from missing a checkpoint early on. We're a second and a half down, I should think, a lap on the leader. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time. Interestingly, I think the NSX might miss a checkpoint because that's quite a long way down the bottom. And, well, let's face it, the Warthog you wouldn't expect the Warthog to be beating an NSX. I've thrown away, I think, any chance I have of catching these. Just trying to be too aggressive. That's just I haven't got the time. I was closer last lap around, but I'm not going to be able to be close enough to do anything. Yeah, the Iron Knight is up in 8th place, which is not too bad again for for that truck. Let's face it. There's BMW off out in front. That was going to try to go through the gap, and there wasn't one either because I overcommitted on the way in. Yeah, I just don't quite have the performance. I think on a good lap for me and a slightly scruffy lap from them, I can keep up, and I could probably keep up with them if we were battling. However, oh no, I've goofed that checkpoint, haven't I? Oh, why did I press that? God, I'm going to have broken it. I've completely and utterly screwed up my game. Yeah, well, that was that. An idiot. I don't know why I was even bothering pushing that hard. It's just, I've had quite a lot of No Man's Land races, and it's just maximum attack. I mean, the i8's okay. It's nothing special, really, in this. It was a 4th place car. And that was probably fair for it. In a battle, it could probably keep up with them. However, it was nothing better than that. The Tipo, sorry, was probably far too difficult to drive. I'd imagine the M2 was pretty damn fast. The Civic, though, better than all of us. The Iron Knight gets 7th, ahead of the 959, ahead of the NSX, Maserati, the Falcon. And the Warthog does end up down at the bottom. The Falcon must have missed a checkpoint as well to have gone down that far with that lap time. Well, not the best of sessions for me, really, in all of that. Well, when it came to this Lucky Dip racing, I was distinctly mediocre with all of it. Silly mistake from me in the i8. Cost me what should really have been a podium with that car. The other races, I got stuck in traffic, and to be fair, the Falcon just did not work. It didn't work for what we were doing. However, this is good fun. This is a good fun sort of thing to be doing, because you're probably going to end up driving different cars that you've not necessarily even thought that much about in the game, and have to deal with a wonky game-built, AI-built, upgraded car, which is far from ideal in some circumstances. But because everyone's in the same boat, you can kind of just have a lot of fun with it. So, yeah, I highly recommend that you give this a try. It's not the most balanced thing in the world, but that's kind of part of the point of it, really. It's all just kind of randomized stuff. Yeah, it's good fun indeed. That, though, will be it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.